welcome to Coffee with Chrissy. It's another day, another Friday. Let's high five each other and high five yourself and remember what you went through this week. And I am the living example of good things and bad things can happen all at the same time. So, it's been a kind of an eventful week, and I thought I'd share it with you because it's been um such a roller coaster of emotion that I can't even begin to put words on it, to be honest with you. So for the last 2 weeks, almost 3 weeks, I've been waiting for the VA to send the pain agreement referral, whatever the hell you call the thing, to iSpine so we can get another appointment over there. It turns out I find this week that the lady who did that sent it to the wrong place and she sent it for the wrong reason. So when they called me this week to tell me that it was authorized, I'm like, except for that's not where we want to go. That's not what the plan was, right? So when I did that, or when she said that, I'm like, so what needs to happen? Do we like need to start over, or what exactly is happening? And she's like, because this isn't the lady I've been talking to, right? And so she's like, well, let me call over there and let me get this new thing started and blah 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 blah. Okay. So then yesterday iSpine calls me and I got mom in the ultrasound room, right? Because we're doing the follow-up and all the things are happening. And the VA calls, or not the VA, but iSpine calls and said, well, they sent it over, but they won't authorize it because you need a neurosurgery consult first. And I'm like, no, I don't. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. We're coming from the neurosurgeon that didn't help, made it worse, and now, we're moving on. And so she gave me the name of the lady who was at the VA. And quite frankly, by this point, it's been like 3 days, right? And I'm waiting for iSpine to call. So when they finally called yesterday morning, I was like, sweet Jesus, we have an appointment, right? No, that's where she gave me the news. So she gave me the name of Amber, who thank God, and I probably shouldn't have said that out loud, but whatevs. Um, and to get her on board of where things are at and get her to understand that I originally called for iSpine pain referral. That's it. So she kept coming back to this, we need a neurology. I'm like, dude, are you listening to me? And then so the moral of this story is I worked really hard not to lose my shit all week with them because there's a lot of trauma also involved in that. A lot of trauma triggers, a lot of fighting for the last 15 years to get him what he needs. Any hoosers. She comes back and she says, well, now I got it straightened out, but now we need an actual referral from your doctor to iSpine so we can get the referral over there. What? So now I got to go back to the primary physician to get her to send this thing, which she'll do. That's not the problem. The problem is could you set it? Like now it's going to take at least 3 days, and it's a holiday weekend, so there's a really good chance we're not hearing nothing until like next Wednesday. So I wish they could understand what another week means. Like another week means more pain, more, I don't know what to do with this. And which leads me into my next thing. Do you realize, I say this a lot, okay? They have it on the inside, we have it on the outside, okay? Sometimes I don't realize what that looks like. And so what I wanted to make sure today is that we realize what's happening to us, around us, that we're aware, okay? So Jeff is super depressed. Like, why wouldn't you be? He doesn't get any relief. There's no recovery. There's nothing like that going on. And if you live with anybody with pain, you understand the vulnerability of not being able to do anything, the helplessness, the frustration, right? Especially when you get surgery and it's just supposed to help everything and then it doesn't. So any hoosers, he's been really depressed, and like a different kind of depressed, almost like a hopeless depressed, right? Well, I don't know if you remember, but the last few weeks I've been dealing with my own mental health, right? And so back to when Jeff's depressed, I'm depressed, whether I realize it or not. So some of it is my own mental health, but also some of it is my environment, right? If my environment is stressed out, if my environment is depressed, if it's out of whack, if it's all those things, the only way, besides maybe impacting your to do list a little bit, the only way that's going to actually impact you is through your emotion. So when I walk into the house and all of a sudden I lose all my zip for everything I wanted to do, it's because probably Jeff's in the sun porch sitting there in sheer misery. And the only thing I can figure out to do is sit down and be with him, because the reality is I am his best medicine. But when I sit down and be with him, I'm walking right into his emotional state. So if he's out of whack, I'm out of whack. Just like if I'm out of whack, he's out of whack, right? So I just wanted to make sure that we realize what's happening, because we don't get to places on our own. Does that make sense? Like, am I baseline depressed, anxiety? Sure, yes, right? But if there's a whole nother layer of that on top of that, and you're trying to figure out what the shit is going on, I can tell you that if you look around you, you're probably mirroring the behavior around you, the emotion behind you or around you. There's no way you can't. There's no way you can't, if that makes any sense. So I say that to also say, give yourself a break. Right? If you walk out of that environment and you can kind of recover and you're feeling okay, and then if it's situational, that's probably more it's on the outside, right? But if it's a constant thing and you can't get rid of it, then it's more on the inside. I hope that's helpful, but it's hard to tell, which leads me to my next thing. So last week I had a mental health appointment for a psychiatrist, because I really, really, truly believe that I had ADHD. Okay. So I did some research on this. And the more I researched, the more I started to understand that, yeah, that's probably what's going on. And when I did the research, what I found out is that people who have been undiagnosed with ADHD and have been coping all their whole lives, right? And just moving around, just what we think to be fine. And now I'm wondering if I've been not fine for a really long time. Different story. Um, when you put caregiving on top of that and you put somebody else's life on top of yours, whatever executive function skills that we had that we were using to manage our own life have now become overloaded. Like, they're like, wait a second, right? And so you can adapt to some things, and you have to, I mean, obviously, right? But if some things are just totally sending you over the edge, and you just can't get, it's almost like your brain is ping ponging. You can't get your poop in a group. I don't know. You have to figure that out for yourself. But my point is that I was struggling so much, I didn't know what to do. So, and I messed with my medication, which is not smart. Do not do this. Do not do this. All right. So, any Hoosers, fast forward. Had the appointment, needed to do some more tests. Wednesday. We started the appointment with, so, given the test results that you've taken in the last 2 weeks, you most definitely have ADHD. And I'm like, great. And there was something so comforting in knowing that, and meaning that I've always been in my own way, in one way or another, right? I've always been in my own way. And I always thought that was kind of a moral deficit, right? Like, hard to follow up, hard to follow through, hard to do a lot of things. Any Hoosers, turns out, maybe my brain, my executive function right here, which is where most dementia start, let us not forget, right? It's called your executive function. And when you got so many things going on and you had issues before, not saying you do, but I will say my age women are the most underdiagnosed people with ADHD. So do your research is all I'm saying. Any Hoosers, it was such a relief, right? It was such a relief. So we talked a little bit and I advocated for myself because she's like, well, let's just increase your Wellbutrin, which I was on like 450 when I started coming off. And I'm like, so here's what I'm worried about. I originally started messing with the Wellbutrin because something wasn't working. I was not okay. Like, and just to increase that at this point seems futile, right? Like, I feel like I'm going to end up in the same place in a few weeks and I'm not going to get any farther ahead. And quite frankly, I have ADHD. I can't sit with this for another flipping week, right? Hello. Which my point in saying that is, I advocated for myself and she heard me and she listened and she adjusted. So she prescribed me 10 milligrams of Adderall, which leads me to my next story. Do you know why parents don't tell their kids things? Because so far I can't see the benefit of that. In my current situation, right? I need mom to tell me everything. So how I respond to mom is imperative. Do you understand? Like how I respond to things that she tells me is imperative because if I punish her because she didn't wear her button today, is she going to tell me anything? If I continue to punish her for the things that I think are not okay, is she going to continue to tell me anything? No, she's not. And I need her to trust me, and I need to trust her that she's going to tell me when something's not right, and I need to trust her with that, okay? Which you really can't, because some little tiny little creatures will not tell you anything for sure. But point is, I need her to trust me. So when I told Andy that I had this appointment, because he's the one that was worried about my mental health, right? So when I told him this, he went like, I don't even know what to call it. I don't know what to call it. It wasn't, oh, great, mom, I'm glad you figured it out. It was more like, well, that's just legalized crack. What? And he said, I noticed it. I noticed it yesterday, blah, 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 blah. I did not see him yesterday. And yesterday was the first day I took that. So then he tries to tell me that, oh, me doing laundry this morning, definitely. Blah, 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 blah. No, nope. I have a busy day. I want to get shit done because I want to go and have a birthday party with 10, 15-year-olds. Right. So, because it sounds fun to me and I want to. So my point is that I know why we don't tell our kids anything. And if you are a kid, check yourself. And I'm going to say that with the most love in my heart. Check yourself. Because if you're reacting to me every single time I tell you something, I'm not telling you jack nothing anymore, just so you know. So just in case you were wondering, now I have it on both sides and I know exactly what it feels like and I don't like it. So if you want me to tell you shit, stop punishing me for telling you. Over it. Well, kind of. Any Hoosers, which leads me to my next thing. My friend Diane, we wrote the grant a few weeks ago. Dementia Essentials. I might have talked about it a little bit. We spent the last year proving that it works, this different style, this different way of reaching people. And we can really honestly measure this behavioral change. Anyway, it's my dream. It's my grand vision. It's my woohoo, right? We got it. Well, we enter into negotiations, which is close enough for me because what that means is someone saw us. Someone saw the really amazing things that we're doing and wants to continue to support us to do those things because I have not run into anything in home and community-based services, Department of Health, anything like that measures any kind of behavioral change. So, I'm feeling pretty lucky. I'm feeling pretty good about it. I so love Diane and all that we're doing because we feel every single bit of it. And we know the impact that we're having now, and it's just amazing. So, bad things, good things. Oh, good thing is mom's ultrasound and all that crap fine, went fine. Everything's good after surgery. So, any hoosers, I hope that kind of helps you. And I'm not even kidding you about being the kid and not understanding how you're reacting to your parents. You reap what you sow. And it's never been more important to understand that than now, just so you know. All right? Because I'm only 57 and I'm to the point I ain't telling you jack nothing. Just saying. So today's joke, because we need a good one. Did you hear about the ice cream truck that had the accident? Yeah, he crashed on Rocky Road. Thanks, Jane. Thanks for that. So, if you guys know anybody that could use this information, relate to it, if you're struggling, check it out. It might be a different answer than you're morally deficient, right? Yeah, check it out. It's important. And if you're going to keep getting punished by your kids, right today I'm going to say stop talking because they don't know. They have no idea, and I have to believe it comes out of pure love, but it's coming out as punishment, and I'm not telling you anything anymore. Good day. So I'm sure that's not what he was intending to have happen, but it is what happened. So any hoosers, I'm super excited about the weekend, and I'm super excited to spend the Friday with you. And I'm glad that things are coming to fruition that I waited for a while. So hang in there. It's all going to work itself out exactly the way it's supposed to. And frankly, all you can do is the next right thing. So you got this. Peace out. We'll talk.